as the Gateway Gators take on the Hempfield Spartans in a WPIAL 5A Big East Conference matchup. Gateway 4-1 on the season. The Hempfield Spartans 5-0 on the year. Adam Gusky, Matt Bush on the call for you here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Gateway Productions YouTube page. Good to have you along with us here in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, as two of the top teams in 5A do battle. And Matt, the Hempfield Spartans come off of one of their biggest victories in program history, the first time in 19 tries that they defeated Penn Trafford a week ago.
And they did that the first time since 1997 did Hempfield defeat Penn Trafford. They come into tonight undefeated. It is their homecoming game. This is their best start in 51 years. A big celebration tonight, as we were hearing from some of the Hempfield folks. 50 years of homecoming here tonight. Their side of the stadium here full of fans with about 30 minutes before kickoff. This is last week may have been one of their biggest games in program history until this week. Now this is the biggest game that may be in program history, or certainly in recent memory, as they're taking on the number 4 team in Gateway tonight, and a very, very big matchup between two teams that have big aspirations this year.
A week ago, the Gateway Gators, a bounce-back performance, a victory over the Plum Mustangs after falling on the road at Franklin Regional 2 weeks back, but the Gators had to hold on down the stretch to defeat the Plum Mustangs after the Gators took a 21-point lead into the locker room. It was all Plum in the second half, and the Gators had to hold off the Mustangs and recover a short kick near the end of the game to end up defeating the rival Mustangs.
Hempfield a 28-17 win over Penn Trafford last week, breaking that 19-game losing streak, as Adam mentioned earlier. This is a team, a lot of offense and very stout defense, averaging 44 points scored per game and only giving up 8 points per game. So we'll see which of those, if any of those, hold up tonight against Gateway.
Just a remarkable surge for the Hempfield Spartans, a team that historically has not been one of the top teams, whether they were in Quad A many years back, 6A, up until this year, and this year moving down to the 5A ranks, where they are in the Big East Conference. We will set the stage for you. Near sideline, the Spartans, they wear their all royal blue uniforms with the white numerals, the royal blue lids with the stripes down the center. The Gateway Gators, far sideline, they wear the white jerseys, gold pants, black lids with the Gators on both sides of the helmet. Seconds away from kickoff, and kicking off for the Hempfield Spartans, Joshua Riley, the 6-foot junior. Two Gators back deep to receive, Inez Jordan and Kenny Lewis. And we are underway in Greensburg, PA. This one a short kick that'll be returned by an up man for the Gators, and bouncing off of blue jerseys is the return man for Gateway, Ricariel, and L is brought down out across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
First and 10.
It'll be first and 10 for Gateway. Great field position at the 42.
At the Gators' 42-yard line.
I have to say, this is about a perfect night, the idyllic Western Pennsylvania Friday night experience. Right now, the sun's setting right over the far side of the field right now. You can see it lighting up the mountains. This is the kind of photos that people take to make it,
Just a remarkable pink sky to that far side as the Gators go to the ground on first down. It's a pitch to the near boundary, and racing down this near sideline for the Gateway Gators is the Gateway tailback, number 2, Jaquan Reynolds.
First down, Gateway.
A good start for Gateway right there. Pitch actually probably is going to be ruled a pass. I think that did go forward, but a solid gain of 19 on their first play from scrimmage.
To the ground again, it's Jaquan Reynolds, and Reynolds trying to wiggle his way through traffic to no avail, and he will be
Reynolds, the ball carrier, stopped by number 5.
Brought down after a gain of a yard or two as the tackle
second and 8.
is made up the middle by Villano, the senior.
Second down, 8 now for Gateway on their opening drive. And for Gateway, in such a big game here against Hempfield, certainly want to get on the board first and put the pressure on them.
Toss to the near side, and the pass is incomplete as the pass was intended for Derek Selby, the sophomore. Selby couldn't pull that one in, and it brings up third down and 8.
Tyson Gregory with the coverage.
Gregory on the coverage for Hempfield.
Along with Daniel Katonka.
Selby coming out of his cut there, slipped a bit, was not ready for the ball as it arrived to him, falling incomplete, setting up third and 8.
Birch, the junior, will set in the shotgun. Reynolds set to his left-hand side with two receivers right. And a slot and a receiver to the near side left. Motion man is Jordan from left to right. Toss to the near side, complete. Screen pass, Jaquan Reynolds spun down near the first down flag. It'll depend on the spot on this near side.
Pass complete to Reynolds.
It looks like it will be enough for a Gateway first down to the 30, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Gators.
Good setup there by Gateway,
down,
throwing the
Gators.
pass back to the short side here. Had some blockers in front, able to get the first down, not by much, but right at the marker to get the first down. And Gateway continues to move.
Again, two receivers split to either side. They'll run the option right. Birch directing traffic, now pitches. Reynolds across the 20, the 15, the 10, inside of the 5. It'll cross the goal line for a Gateway touchdown. And Gateway in short order steps out on the board 6-0.
It's such a big game for Hempfield. So exactly what Gateway wanted to do here on the first drive, right down the field. It only took 6 plays to do it, and they're in the end zone for a touchdown. They have the lead here early, 6-0, and a great play there to get that touchdown. Quarterback holding onto the ball to the very last possible moment, getting the pitch out wide.
Cole Plaskin.
And Cole Plaskin will step onto the field to kick the PAT. And Gateway's going to run an option to the near side left on the 2-point conversion attempt. The pitch goes awry, and as the ball skitters to the near boundary, it'll go out of bounds, and the 2-point conversion attempt fails as Gateway tried to run the option to the near side left with the pitch to Plaskin. But like I said, that doesn't work out, so it's Gateway 6 and Hempfield 0 with 10:50 to play here in quarter number 1.
It's a 5-play, 59-yard drive for Gateway. Only took 1:10 off the clock. And they have the score. They have the lead, 6-0.
As we take another look at this option, Birch, like you said, Matt, hung on to that ball until the absolute last second before he went down to the turf. And then it was all Jaquan Reynolds from there as he used some muscle to go along with some shifty moves down to the goal line, and he crosses that goal line for the Gators TD.
And now we'll get our first look at the Hempfield offense, again coming in averaging 44 points a game, coming off a huge win, one of the biggest wins in program history last week. Said defensively they're averaging only giving up 8 points a game. Well, they're almost at that level now, 1 minute and 10 seconds into the game. So we'll see if their offense can make up for that here.
Daniel Katonka.
And Gateway will kick it off down this near sideline and will bounce out of bounds. So Plaskin, after being not able to convert on the 2-point conversion attempt, then kicks it out of bounds, and it will be Hempfield football at the 35.
For a lot of tempo out of this Hempfield offense tonight, led by quarterback Jake Phillips and running backs Gino Caesar and Elijah Binakonski. Again, averaging 44 points a game. And the way Gateway just went down the field and scored, I think Hempfield's going to need all 44 of those points tonight.
Bunch to the right of the formation. High snap, and Gateway all over it as Gino Caesar, the ball carrier, nowhere to go. As Cariel is in the back guard. And Harper involved in the tackle as well.
No gain on the play.
Great job by Demetrius Harper to come around from that outside linebacker spot on the right. And to the ground again go the Spartans, and nowhere to go for Caesar as he's undercut by Dallas Harper. Harper, who was a big hero for Gateway a week ago on both sides of the football, making the stop there.
And so far, Hempfield really wants to get that tempo going in their offense. You can see it going no huddle, trying to move fast here, but they haven't moved the ball a yard yet. And that really messes up the tempo when you can't get those kind of big chunk plays to get the defense kind of moving and shifting and all that. Gateway in the first 2 plays so far defensively have been all over it.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10 for Hempfield, as they will send trips to the left-hand side, the wide side of the field, play action. Stepping up into the pocket is Jake Phillips. He has nowhere to go, and he will be swallowed up by the Gateway defense.
On the play by Lewis Douglas.
Louis Douglas on the stop for the Gateway Gators.
Loss of 5, 4th and 15.
Well, again, this game could not have started better for Gateway. A touchdown drive, 5 plays, and then a 3 and out here.
Phillips in punt formation
On defense.
Punt is away, and it will be returned by Livesey for Gateway. And Livesey drives his way out towards the 45 before he is shoved back by a host of blue jerseys.
on the return, stopped by Anthony Pushkar. 1st and 10 Gators.
So Gateway with great field position yet again, this time at the 45 to start this drive with 8:59 to play in quarter number 1.
Not a particularly, for an offense coming in averaging 44 points, not a particularly impressive opening drive by Hempfield. 2 runs kind of into the line that went nowhere, and then a sack on 3rd down. Gateway looking to impose its will here early and can do so even more with good field position on their 2nd drive.
Gateway to the ground. It's Reynolds running to the right-hand side. He'll be wrapped and brought down. Tackle for the Spartans by
Reynolds,
Ethan
the ball
Shaw.
carrier, stopped by 56 Ethan Shaw.
Loss of 1 brings up 2nd down and 11.
Konski. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
Clock winding, 8:35. Down to 8:33 to go here in the first quarter. Gateway scoring on an option play to Reynolds. And again, they run the pitch to Reynolds, running to the right. He'll cross the 45 and spin his way forward to around the 47, maybe the 48-yard line before being brought down.
Reynolds, the ball carrier, stopped by
So sets up
Jackson
another
Martin.
3rd down here for Gateway. Last time
3rd
picked up the
and
1st
8.
down by inches and then scored a touchdown right after it. So we'll see what Gateway has cooking here on this 3rd down, 3rd and 8. Last time it was 3rd and 8 also, and they ran the screen pass back here to the near side.
Two receivers to either side. Play action, hitch, and then a go down that far right-hand side, intended for Harper, and the pass is incomplete, but grabbing a hold of Harper's arm is D-back Jake Phillips, and that is going to cost Hempfield 15 yards and a 1st down.
Pretty tight coverage over there, and that flag came in late, but did look like there was some contact there late, you know. There was a chuck there right at the beginning, and that wasn't what was called. And coming down there, yeah, it looked like the trailing defender there was the one who had
1st down,
a grab of the jersey.
Gators.
Like I said, more than anything, it really looked like Jake Phillips had grabbed an arm there. In addition, like you said, the trailing player with some body contact. But regardless, it's going to be 15 yards and a 1st down for Gateway into Hempfield territory. Trips left, 1 receiver right. Play action. Birch now tosses complete to Jordan. Jordan with all kind of greenery in front of him and a blocker. He'll cut it back at the 20, and he will wiggle his way to the 18-yard line.
Didn't mean to step on you there, but some move right there coming down the right sideline for Gateway, and that's another 1st down there and a great play action fake, and then the throw to the side here, and just a lot of movement right now on that Gateway offense, going side to side and then getting the plays going up the field.
Birch sends Jordan in motion from left to right. Play action. Sets up another screen looking for Reynolds as he has Fowler, as well as another blocker out in front of him in Jonathan Vince. Or no, check that, 51 for Gateway. Roberson Louis June. And the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10.
Second time we've seen the Gators go to that throwback screen here to the near side. Expect to see it some more. That was set up, but the pass was not completed.
And moving along the defensive front, also the right guard for Gateway moved early. Jacob Santo. And they're going to get Santo with the early movement.
Down remains 2, 2nd and 15.
For such a big crowd here for Hempfield, really kind of been taken out of the game right now, given the way Gateway has started here on both offense and defense.
Birch in the shotgun. Looks it back to the left-hand side where he completes the pass to Selby, and Selby inside of the 20 to around the 17. A flag comes down and came towards the feet of Inez Jordan. We'll have to check in with the officials to see what that was about.
And it came from the judge, the line judge here way down in the end zone. Threw that about 20 yards to get that flag in there, and that looks like pass interference on Gateway.
Now the officials waving off the flag.
Picking it up. All right.
Flag is being picked up. No foul.
Well, I think what happened was they threw it at Inez Jordan, but he was blocking in the backfield.
Right, yeah, 10. I think that was, yeah. You got it exactly right. So 5-yard completion for Gateway sets up another third down. They're 2 for 2 on third down conversions thus far tonight. Got one via penalty. And the Hempfield crowd getting into it now.
Birch tosses complete. Inez Jordan with the Gateway touchdown. An 18-yard TD. And Gateway claims a 12-0 lead, and a late flag comes in as well.
See what that flag was. It was thrown out of the end zone. It was a flag that was thrown out of the end zone. It does not appear to be what was going on there. Anyway, back to the touchdown pass. Birch holding in there, making a really short, fast, quick throw under pressure. We have an unsportsmanlike conduct goes against Gateway.
Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Touchdown is good.
So Gateway can't ask for a better start right now. Maybe the missed extra point conversion, but right now Gateway, 2 touchdown drives, very quick down the field, getting those chunk plays, making it easy on the offensively making it very easy, and chance now to go up 13.
Plastic to attempt the extra point.
So Cole Plaskin will attempt the PAT. Hold is down, but the timing was off. Livesey couldn't get it down cleanly, and it's 12-0 Gateway with 2 PATs that have failed. One an option to the left on a 2-point conversion attempt to Plaskin. The second one, the snap hold kick doesn't come through, and that costs Gateway 2 points in total thus far.
So outside of the kicking, Gateway as good a start as you can hope for tonight. This drive taking a little more than 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 22 seconds, and they were able to get down the field on, looks like 8 plays there. Did get the benefit of the pass interference penalty on third down. That gave them a first down. But they capitalized. When you make a mistake, when your opponent makes a mistake, got to capitalize on it. Gateway did that tonight. And right now, what was a ranking between, a big-time matchup between number 3 and number 4, Gateway up big here early, and Hempfield's got to find some ways to get back into this game and look competitive.
So Gateway will be backed up all the way to the 25-yard line. And Plaskin will have to boot into this one. It'll be returned by Hempfield from around the 25-yard line. Katonka on the return for the Spartans, and he'll push his way all the way out towards the midfield stripe, where he's finally brought down by a host of white jerseys. And it will be 1st and 10 for Hempfield. They'll mark the ball at the 48.
It's a good field position on the second drive for Hempfield. They need to pick it up here, get back in this game, already finding themselves down 12-0, and we're only halfway through the first quarter.
Hempfield calling in the plays from the sideline. And driving his way forward, the quarterback, Jake Phillips. And Phillips will be brought down inside of Gateway territory at the 46-yard line, bringing up 2nd down and 5.
With getting a gain there now, Hempfield can really go more to that tempo, but now a penalty to stop that down. It looks like a false start against the Spartans. Offense really struggling here in their first 2 drives.
false start against the offense.
So that false start negates the 5 yards picked up on first down.
And again, really messes with their tempo. You can see they really want to go fast, and they need those gains to get to really play their tempo on offense. And didn't get into the first drive. They get one there, ready to go, and then a false start penalty.
Phillips going to hand off, and he's got nowhere to go, does the tailback, running from right to left. 3 Gators all over that play. Leading the charge for Gateway is Ahmad Harris, the junior.
3rd and 13.
And now Hempfield facing a pretty tall task here, 3rd and 13. Trying to pick up a first down here, really trying to just get some momentum going in the game. It has started as poorly as it could for them.
Phillips rolling to his right. He's pressured. He's wrapped. He's sacked. Gators all over him, and Brooks will be the first one there.
Phillips the ball carrier.
And Phillips looking for players downfield, just didn't see anyone. Eventually running forward, ends up actually getting a couple yards running forward, but he just had nowhere to go to make any kind of play right there. And Hempfield right now, that's going to be 2 3 and outs. The penalty really hurt him on this drive.
Livesey to return.
So the punt unit is on. As Phillips will boot this one away, it'll bounce towards Livesey, and he'll start his return at around the 18. A Spartan there to make the play, though, is Francisco Lopez Diaz.
By Anthony Pushkar. 1st and 10 Gators.
And now Gateway gets back on offense. Looked good in their first 2 drives, ending in touchdowns. Can they get another one here and really start to turn up the pressure on Hempfield here? They really got to get into this game. You got to see Hempfield make some kind of play, get some momentum, get some energy here. This crowd was really ready to go here tonight. Their side of the field was full of fans half hour before kickoff. It's their homecoming game, coming off their biggest win, one of their biggest wins, and certainly in recent memory, maybe even program history last week, and they've come out pretty flat right now.
Birch in the shotgun. Play action to Reynolds. Looking deep down the right-hand side. Harper has a step. Harper makes the catch, and Harper will be dragged down inside of the 30 at around the 26-yard line.
And that is some kind of catch there by Dallas Harper, running under that ball, perfectly thrown, but right into the fingertips. We'll see. You get a look at a replay in there. Dropped it right in there on him, right on the fingertips, was able to pull it in, and Gateway continues to really cook here in the first quarter. Getting the step on the coverage man there from Hempfield, number 8, Daniel Katanka.
So Gateway looks to the sideline to get the play.
Officially 47 yards on that reception.
Birch off of play action. He's pressured, rolling to his right, steps up, steps forward, picks up positive yardage, still on his feet, still driving his way towards the 10-yard line.
That was going to be a screen to Jaquan Reynolds, but Hempfield had that covered. But Birch for Gateway again. Sees that it's covered.
Birch the ball carrier.
Cornered over there on the far side of the field. Didn't have a lot of space, but found it.
Gators.
And was able to run all the way down to the 10-yard line. A 15-yard pickup. And Hempfield's taking a timeout right now, and you can't blame them. They just they got to collect themselves here. As this is on the verge of getting out of hand here pretty early in the game.
Yeah, this is a pretty big surprise for Hempfield, a team that was 5-0, a team that a week ago had one of their biggest wins in program history. And they came out, huge crowd, huge expectations, and they're just not living up to it right now. Gateway is the one controlling tempo, controlling the game on both sides.
Absolutely true, and you kind of have that feeling maybe this Hempfield comes in after a big win, and they're just flat, and it kind of happens. Happens at all levels of sports, but they just really look flat right now, and I think the coaches, maybe that's what they're trying to get into the team right now as you look at the standings here in the Big East Conference. This is a big game, and Hempfield there right at the top, and they got to find some energy right now. They got to look within and find something here. See if they can get a stop on Gateway just to stop the momentum the Gators have built up here early.
Birch to the right, pitches, forward pitch. Reynolds has the first down and more. And it'll be first and goal for Gateway at the 3.
Reynolds, the ball carrier, stopped by Littman.
Seeing a lot of that movement to the side there.
And goal.
And Birch getting it to Reynolds again over there on that short side, but there was space to go. And picks up 7. Gateway getting there, calls in from the sideline too, but going with a little less tempo than Hempfield would like to, as you can tell, but it's working for the Gators.
Birch pulls it out of the belly of Reynolds and instead tosses it off to Malachi Moore for a Gateway touchdown. 3 drives, 3 Gateway TDs in short order. There's still 3:45 to go in the first quarter.
To say we're stunned at this result would be minimizing it. This is certainly something right now. Gateway has done everything it has wanted to do thus far in this football game, and Hempfield is just nothing. 2 3-and-outs on offense and a 3rd touchdown here for Gateway. And again, as Adam said, we have 3:45 left in the first quarter. Now, the only thing Gateway hasn't done right so far is kick extra points. See if they can get it right here on the 3rd try.
Snap, hold, kick by Plaskin, and that's the way it's done. So Gateway has stretched their lead to 19-0 over the Hempfield Spartans, and they've done it very quickly, just 8 minutes and 15 seconds, 3 scores for the Gators.
That drive goes 4 plays, 77 yards in a minute and 1 second.
0.
And Gateway, that is, so far right now, they have run 5, 18, 13, 13 and 4 is 17 plays so far on offense and resulted in 3 touchdowns. Hempfield has only gone 3-and-out on its 2 drives. So that's the story of this one so far. 19-0 now, Gateway in the lead. And a very quiet but large crowd here at Spartan Stadium at Hempfield Area High School. I think they're as stunned as anybody right now.
Boston to kick off.
You could actually feel the energy in this place as the crowd continued to pour in as we were setting up for our broadcast.
And I parked, people next to me said, and one of them said this is the first time he'd worn Hempfield gear to a game in longer than he could remember. You could tell this was a major, major game for them. And right now, not going well for the home side.
Kick will carry all the way down to the 1-yard line where it'll be returned by the Hempfield Spartans. Katonka on the return, and he'll bring it down the near sideline before finally being shoved out of bounds by a Gator and Ahmad Harris.
Katonka on the return.
Return there by Katonka. He'd been hemmed in there a couple different times, but able to get up almost to the 30-yard line. Try to give this Hempfield offense a little juice.
On the last drive, they started at the 48. They took the ball inside of Gators territory to the 46 or 47. But a penalty on the next play after that. The drive stalled, and Gateway got it back and turned it into points in short order.
Gateway doing well on first down, and that's really negating the tempo and the speed Hempfield wants to play with.
Pass to that left-hand side, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Daniel Katonka. Looked like he had it for a moment, but a Gator was there applying pressure. I think it was Leonard Sherrod on the coverage for Gateway.
That was out there, and you can see Katonka, maybe it was in his head because wasn't anybody really around him, and he fumbled that ball twice before it finally fell to the ground incomplete. And Gateway could be in Hempfield's head. Of the many things they've done here right so far, looks like they might be in Hempfield's head too.
Two receivers right, one to the wide side left, play action. Phillips tosses it down the middle, and the pass will be incomplete, intended for Kieran Littman. Littman couldn't hang on to that one. Reserve quarterback leg receiver.
Home team, home side wanting a flag for some contact there. Did look like there was some, but no flag forthcoming. And it's now 3rd and 10. And again, Hempfield doesn't want to go 3-and-out 3 straight times. But they're on the verge of doing that unless they can find something here on this 3rd down play. Someone's got to step up and make a play for the Spartans. And you can see even the speed with the plays are getting into the field right now. The 3 coaches here on the side, no speed to it. And you can tell that's what they want to do, and there just isn't any.
Straight drop back. Phillips now pressured. He'll step up into the pocket. He'll be hit after picking up a couple of yards. Initial contact by Ricariel, and cleaning it up from behind was Matthew Brooks.
Stopped by Brooks.
And again on 4th down, Gateway covering well, but also rushing well, not giving Phillips the time to make any decisions
4th and
downfield.
7.
And he had to again, as he's done on previous third downs, have to run it himself and has not come anywhere near enough yardage for the first down. And yet again, a 3 and out for the Spartans.
Gateway applying pressure on the punter, Lippman. Lipsy's going to catch this one at around the 37-yard line, pushes his way maybe towards the 38. But Gateway's going to start again with decent field possession.
10 Gators.
Just shy of the 40 this time.
Well, if you're Gateway coming out here, you just kind of want to keep doing what you're doing. No point in overthinking it right now. They've done what they wanted to, running, passing, using a lot of movement there, going side to side at the line of scrimmage and getting their players to go downfield. And now we see the quarterback for Hempfield going into the injury tent right now here at the sideline. So
yeah, Phillips, who had punted the first couple of times. Hempfield punted, didn't punt on that last play. And like you said, Matt, he's into the 10 on this near boundary.
Going from bad to worse for Hempfield.
Birch looking right, throwing right, down on the shoe tops. The ball was pulled in, but the officials say incomplete to Malachi Moore.
Birch's pass intended for Moore.
Looked like that may have been tipped at the line by one of the Hempfield
Second
defensive linemen, and that stops the Gateway Gators here on first down, but they haven't had too many issues in their previous drives facing second and third down. We'll see what they do here on this second down.
Play action, Birch looks right, throws right, leaping up, making the catch. Malachi Moore this time, instead of on his shoe tops, he stretches to pull that one in. 2 Spartans are there, including Ian Tufts, but that's more than enough for a Gateway first down inside of Spartans territory at the 43.
And Gateway moving again and kind of doing whatever they want right now. And like I said, Hempfield just needs somebody to make a play here, make a stop, just something to give them some energy because they don't have any right now.
Near side left pass complete. Reynolds springs loose to the 25, cuts it back at around the 20. Will be wrestled down by Ian Tufts.
Birch's pass complete to Reynolds, stopped by Tufts.
That's another big
First
play for
down,
Gateway. That's going to go for 24
Gateway.
yards after the prior play went for 20. And Gateway on the verge of putting up their 4th score of the first quarter. And again, Hempfield unable to do anything to stop it right now. Again, Gateway coming over here to the near side. That play worked earlier. Works here for a 24-yard gain.
Running near side left, Jaquan Reynolds.
The ball
Lots of
carrier,
contact there
shot
as he's
by
brought down inside of the 15 at around the 14.
5.
It gives him 5 yards for Jaquan Reynolds, who's been a real star in out of the backfield, catching tonight and running the football. And Gateway moving here. This drive, now it's gone more than a minute, but some of their prior drive only took about a minute. So this one's been slightly slower than their other scoring drives.
Toss to that right-hand side. Harper wide open. And a couple of plays and another Gateway TD. And with 1:16 to play in the first quarter, Gateway's up 25-0.
Touchdown.
And not even close on that play. Dallas Harper wide open, number 7 for Hempfield. That's Tyson Gregory, who was not over there to make the play. Was a good 5 yards away from that. 25-0 Gateway now. Extra point coming up.
PAT up and in for Cole Plaskin, and with 1:16 to play here in quarter number 1, Gateway has opened up a 26-0 lead.
2 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Hempfield has got to be stunned on homecoming with what is happening here on their home turf.
Absolutely, and as Adam was saying, this is not a program known for a whole lot of success, so this was a really big deal for them to be 5-0. They're ranked number 3 in 5A. Looking at some of the notes, they have not had a winning season since 2013. They haven't won a playoff game since 1997, which is the last time they beat Penn Trafford, which they did last week for the first time in 19 tries. A lot of celebration here tonight. We heard it from some of the locals here, the PA announcer telling us 50 years worth of homecoming things being celebrated tonight and all that. And well, we have a minute 16 left in the first quarter, and it's 26-0 Gateway over Hempfield.
Awaiting the kick of Boston.
We'll see if Jason Phillips is coming back in for the Spartans. Don't see him down there on the sideline right now. He did briefly go into the injury tent after that last drive.
Plaskin's kick carries to around the 10. This time it'll be returned by Tyson Gregory, and Gregory races his way out towards the 35 before he's brought down.
Gregory on the
bunch of Gators there, including Kenny Lewis.
By Harris, 1st and 10.
So Hempfield looking for its first down in this game. 3 and outs. You can see it's messing up their total offense. They just can't get the tempo and the speed with which they want to go. They came into this game averaging 44 points on offense, and right now, nothing. Phillips back in a quarterback.
Phillips looking left, throwing left, the pass complete. Delano racing to that far sideline, and he'll be shouldered to the boundary. 2 Gators are there.
Looks like it'll be enough for a first down, and you'll see now Hempfield try to go more up-tempo here. You can see that's a big part of their game, and they have been able to do that earlier,
First down, Spartans.
given their struggles on offense. And again, Gateway not allowing anything on the ground.
Gateway goes to the, or rather Hempfield goes to the ground. Caesar the ball carrier. Matthew Brooks makes the tackle. 2nd and 10 on that no gainer. Play action. Phillips looking left, throwing left. The pass broken up. Terrific job on the coverage by Inez Jordan.
Stayed with him right there, man for man. There was some hand fighting over there. Refs let it go, and ball was a little underthrown too, but that allowed Inez Jordan to make a very easy pass defense right there. 3rd and 10 now, and Hempfield doesn't want to go 3 and he doesn't want to go 3 and out after getting its first down so quickly.
Third and 10. High snap, play action. Phillips, and it's tipped at the line of scrimmage. Matthew Brooks got a hand on it, and a Spartan and a Gator had to race towards it. Neither could come down with it.
Incomplete, knocked down by Brooks.
Nothing doing there for Hempfield. Now the offense still on the field. They may think about going for this because the way their defense has played so far, they got to get some points here, and can't really argue with Hempfield wanting to go for it here on 4th down so early in the game in their own territory.
.26 seconds to play here. Hempfield does keep their offense on the field. And they will go to the ground, trying to catch Gateway off guard. Caesar the ball carrier, and he will be brought down by a couple of Gators, including Ahmad Harris. Bose also in on the tackle.
19 seconds left in the first quarter. Gateway takes back over on their own 49-yard line and ready to keep putting it up here right now. And you can just see the difference in the energy on the sidelines right now. Gateway has players jumping up and down during that last defensive possession, and over here on the Hempfield side, a lot of hands on hips.
Two receivers right, one to the near side left. Gateway going to run a reverse flea flicker. Wide open down that right-hand side was a Gateway receiver in Malachi Moore, but Moore couldn't pull it in as the pass fell short, and that brings up 2nd down and 10.
Great play call was set up and all that, but Birch's pass was underthrown on that play and falls incomplete. 2nd down now, 12 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And Gateway looking for that next touchdown, and would already be their 5th if they're able to get it.
Trips left, 2 receivers on the short side right. Clock stop with 12 seconds to go. Motion man. As the Gators going to set up a wide receiver screen away from the motion. And Jaquan Reynolds is complete to Harper, but Harper's brought down a couple of yards deep in the backfield. That'll bring up 3rd down and 14.
And that will end the quarter. A quarter that I don't think anybody saw coming here from Spartan Stadium.
That brings us to the end of the first quarter of play. From Coach Bill Abraham Field at Spartan Stadium. With the Gators, 26, Spartans
Going to take a quick
0.
breather here at the quarter break. Gateway 26, Hempfield 0. You're tuned in to Gateway High School football here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and YouTube.
To begin the second quarter of play will be 3rd and 13 for Gateway.
Set to begin quarter number 2. Gateway 26, Hempfield 0. Birch down this near side right. Pass complete to Jaquan Reynolds. He is shouldered hard.
There's
There's a
And
play.
brought down by Lippman. Sorry.
But there's a play right there. Hempfield 3rd and 13, a chance to get off the field. And right there, Jaquan Reynolds just sneaking behind the linebacker there to catch that perfectly thrown pass for another big gain for Gateway. And they're on the move again.
Whistles blow before the snap. And Hempfield needs to take a timeout.
Hempfield.
That's the second time the defense out of sorts and needs to take a timeout as Gateway drives the ball into Spartans territory. So Gateway talking things over right now. You can see the offensive coordinator talking with the Gateway offense. And Coach Don Hall is up in the booth. Has been the last 2 weeks, to my understanding, instead of out there on the field.
We'll see what Gateway dials up here, but running or passing, they've been able to do whatever they want so far on this Friday evening.
Birch tosses it backwards to Reynolds. Reynolds running left, and he will be brought down in the backfield. Tackled by Binkowski.
Loss on the play.
That brings up 2nd down and
2nd
about
and 14.
13 for the Gateway Gators.
Hempfield had Gateway in 2nd and 3rd and long earlier in this drive, unable to stop them. Let's see if that changes this time.
Birch spins around, tosses it backwards to Inez Jordan, who has blockers in front of him. He'll take it inside of the 30, brought down at around the 28. So he takes it from 2nd and long to 3rd and a little bit more manageable. 3rd down and about 7.
Seeing a lot of that from Gateway tonight. Birch kind of going one way and then spinning right back around and throwing it back to the other side of the field. Really seems to have the Hempfield defense just completely confused as to what's going on right now. They're really struggling with these throwback passes. Gateway's thrown a lot of them tonight.
Birch Sends a man in motion. Play action, looking right the whole way. Harper leaps up, grabs hold, wrestled down near that first down marker. If it's not a first down, it'll be fourth and very short.
Yeah, looking like fourth, maybe a yard.
Fourth and
About
one.
a yard, yeah. Good play there again by Gateway, getting close to the first down, always keeping things manageable. This is the first time we've seen some, at least, defensive resistance from Hempfield. This is a big, big play for them.
And the right tackle moves early. Robertson Louise June, the freshman, moves early. And that false start is going to push Gateway back 5 yards. So the offense is going to stay out there, obviously, because you're in a circumstance where you're too close for a punt and too far away for a field goal. But reasonably unfortunate as well that Gateway, instead of 4th and 1, now 4th and 6.
Going to get it to the 21-yard line, see what they have moving here. This is, again, the first time we've seen any real defensive resistance from Hempfield this evening.
Toss complete. Harper, he's got the first down with a blocker in front of him. Inside of the 15 to the 10 and out of bounds at around the 8-yard line, where he will be wrestled down by Tyson Gregory. But a well-designed play and well executed as well.
Even more misdirection out of Gateway tonight on offense.
Gregory.
And that results in a big 4th down conversion and another first down for Gateway. They got a 1st and goal now at the 8-yard line, a 19-yard reception there for Gateway. And if you're Hempfield, again, you have finally something you think you can get there and let it up.
Birch tucks, runs into the end zone for a Gateway touchdown of 8 yards. The play broke down. Birch had nowhere to go, tucked it and took it himself.
And if it's going Gateway's tonight, I mean, everything has gone Gateway's way tonight. And right there, another busted play. I think it's the second touchdown they've had, or no, the second play they've had tonight, where Birch, again, on a play that Hempfield had covered or was busted, takes off, and first time he got a first down, this time he gets a touchdown.
Kick up and in for Cole Plaskin. And with 9:18 to play in the second quarter, Gateway 33, Hempfield 0. And this looks like a completely different Gateway Gators team than we saw on the road at Franklin Regional or in the second half against Plum last week.
Well, getting into conference play, and Gateway had 1-1 in conference play, Hempfield 1-0. And when you're looking up at the team in front of you, you certainly want to beat them, and Gateway isn't just beating Hempfield right now. This is really hasn't been competitive, and really stunning in that too. And that Hempfield comes into tonight the number 3 team ranked in 5A, and given up 5 touchdowns and have only gotten 1 first down on offense in their first 4 drives.
So Cole Plaskin will kick off.
Gregory and Tatanka deep for the Spartans. Plaskin to kick off for Gateway.
2 Spartans back deep to return this kick from Plaskin. This a low lining kick that'll bounce into the hands of return man Tyson Gregory. Gregory out across the 15 where he's wrapped and brought down. Demetrius Harper on the stop for Gateway.
Gregory on the return.
Again, as it continues to go, everything for Gateway tonight and everything against Hempfield there. That kick coming down there in the corner, and you'll see the return man for Hempfield slip as he got the football. It looked like it was going out of bounds, but that bounce took it back inside into the field of play, so he couldn't just let it go out of bounds. And well, now Hempfield's got to do something here. Got the ball at the 18 to start this drive.
Looks like Lipman, no, it is Phillips the quarterback, and he tosses to that right-hand side. Receiver brought down after a very modest gain. Ian Tufts on the return, or on the catch rather, for the Hempfield Spartans. Straight drop back. Now Phillips going to tuck and run. And he will be met and brought down by Demetrius Harper as he picks up enough for a Spartans first down.
Let's see if Hempfield that gives them a little jump here. Only their second first down of the night.
Play is a Spartan first down.
And they'd love to go with tempo and be fast and just haven't been able to do it tonight. Looked like they jumped off there, but no flag.
Movement early, like you said, Matt, but like you said, also no flag. Gateway's all over the play, though. And I'm sure Gateway's happy to take a gain of just one for the Spartans. Phillips now rolling to his right, throwing to his right, throwing too deep, and as Jordan tried to race back to get underneath the football to no avail.
That play wasn't run smoothly right there. The receiver for Hempfield, Ian Tufts, trying to get away from him as Jordan wasn't able to on the sideline there. It looked like he may even stepped out of bounds, so it wouldn't have been good even had he been able to complete the pass, but it was well beyond him. And now a 3rd and 9 facing Hempfield, as they're just trying to get something here just to stay in the game or at least make it interesting at this point.
Phillips looking left the whole way, throwing to the left-hand side. He and his intended receiver, Daniel Katonka, not on the same page.
That ball came in there, and yeah, Katonka either looked like maybe he wasn't ready for the ball, didn't think it was going to come to him, because he was open, and that ball went right in front of him, but I don't think he was expecting that ball to come to him.
Deep to return for the Gators.
Just like the last drive, Hempfield gets one first down, but immediately bogs down after that and has to kick it back to Gateway, down 33 points.
End over end kick. Takes a bounce in favor of the Spartans, and the ball will finally die and be downed by a Hempfield player at the 39-yard line.
Phillips punt down by Milano. 1st and 10 Gators.
Gateway taking over now, 7:45 left in the half. They're up 33-0. Their first 5 drives have resulted in touchdowns. None of them took longer than I think 8 plays to get those touchdowns. They've had their way right now in front of this large, stunned and quiet crowd in Hempfield.
Gators offense out there on the field. 1st and 10, ball in the middle of the field at the 39. Inez Jordan, motion man from left to right. Play action. Birch tossing. Harper wide open. 30, 25, 20. Inside of the 15 where he'll be wrestled down towards the 12-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Gateway at the 12.
Again, just kind of a defense. We have a penalty here coming back, but again, Harper wide open, no one near him for Hempfield. I mean, just really, really soft coverage. I mean, that's 5 yards away, and then you have the 2 guys coming back there. See if that holds up. They will not.
Against the offense.
So that big play for Gateway wiped out by the penalty. Proving so far the only team that can stop them is themselves
5-yard penalty
on this
down
Friday evening.
1st and 15.
Birch to the air, down the middle. Inez Jordan catches it at the 30. Nobody's going to catch Inez Jordan as he will cross the goal line for a Gateway touchdown.
Strutted that one in there, caught it right in style, and then almost allowed the player from Hempfield to catch up and get him. But he was comfortably into the end zone, and well, Gateway has one pass play taken away by penalty. They get it right back 66 yards down the field, and Gateway has their 6th touchdown of the evening.
It is 39-0. With 7:23 to play here in quarter number 2. Just incredible. what Gateway has come out and done here offensively this evening.
Kick is up and good. With 7:23
PAT up and in for
remaining
Cole
in the first
Blask.
half of play.
And with 7:23 to play here in the half, it's just been all Gateway, Matt.
All Gateway, 40-0, and I don't know how much else there is to say, how many superlatives we can give the Gators here right now. But, you know, it also, Hempfield's flat. You can tell looking at the body language here on the near side of the field. Big win last week over Penn Trafford, but tonight, it just hasn't been competitive tonight. And I think that more than anything is just what's so surprising. It's not the Gateway's winning and even winning by this big. It's just, it looks like a video game, almost.
Yeah, like when you're playing the computer and you have it on easy setting.
Yes, that's kind of what it feels like right now. We see the touchdown there, the replay of it. Receiver for Gateway, number 7 there. And there's Jordan, he's 5 yards in front. I mean, he's strutting into the end zone, allowing the defensive back to try to catch up with him. That's how far ahead of him he was on that pass.
Kick by Plaskin, carries down to around the 2-yard line where it'll be returned by Tyson Gregory, and Gregory out across the 15 towards the 16 or 17-yard line.
Gregory on the return.
Tackle made by Gateway's
by
Mark Knight, the sophomore.
First and 10 Spartans.
Well, we'll see if Hempfield, what they can do here on this drive. They've had 2 first downs in their first 5 offensive possessions, and you can just tell that just isn't working for him, obviously, and they really want to go fast and play with a lot of tempo, and there hasn't been any of that because they have not been able to get a lot of plays going forward.
Toss to the right-hand side, and that receiver brought down.
Pass complete to Katonka, sought by Bose. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Ellie Bose on the tackle on Katonka.
Again, coming into tonight, Hempfield averaging 44 points a game on offense, 8 giving up on defense. Gateway's multiplied that by 5 so far, and that was we're not even halfway through this. We're now halfway through the second quarter.
Straight drop back. Phillips tossing to the right-hand side, and the pass caught over there on that right-hand side, making the catch. Ian Tufts, but he's got nowhere to go as he's brought down after a modest gain, bringing up 3rd down and 7.
On the stop.
Again, one of those development plays. We've seen Gateway through those wide receiver screens tonight. It's worked very well for them. Hempfield just a step slow. That pass did not get out all that well. It looked like it may have even been tipped at the line, and they only get a yard off of it. And now they face 3rd down and in danger of going 3rd and 3 and out once more time. And Hempfield looks very lost right now.
Phillips steps up into the pocket, and the pass is intercepted. Demetrius Harper with the takeaway for Gateway, and he is finally wrestled down as he drives his way towards the 21-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Gateway. And in case things weren't going bad enough for Hempfield, they give the Gators the ball deep inside of their own territory.
1st and 10 Gators.
And that pass looked right, Phillips trying to look off on that play and threw it to his number 11 counterpart on Gateway, Demetrius Harper, right into his arms, trying to make some plays there. You can see Hempfield, not surprisingly, pressing a little bit on that play, throwing the interception. At least they hadn't turned the ball over yet on this night. Now they have on their 6th possession, and on Gateway with a short field to make this an even larger deficit tonight.
Birch running right, throwing right, pass complete to Livesey. Livesey steps inside of a tackler towards the 10, and he'll be brought down inside of the 5. It'll be 1st and goal for Gateway.
Birch's pass.
And again, another easy play, another wide open receiver for Gateway.
1st and goal, Gateway.
Couple shoulder dips and gets down to the 3-yard line, or the 2-yard line officially. That's a 20-yard reception, and Gateway knocking on the door again.
To the ground go the Gators, driving towards the goal line, but no TD that time for Gateway. Jaquan Reynolds, the ball carrier.
Reynolds, the ball carrier, stopped by Benikonski.
So stop there for Hempfield, just trying to get some
Goal.
energy here, trying to show some resistance here as Gateway. We're going to get to these halftime statistics, and they're going to be ugly for Hempfield. But a stop there for Hempfield, making it second and a goal.
To the ground go the Gators. To the left, pass complete, and a Gateway TD.
Jaquan Reynolds for the Gator touchdown.
Jaquan Reynolds into the end zone, and it's pretty ugly here in Greensburg.
That drive took only 3 plays for Gateway to go 22 yards for the touchdown in less than a minute. And it is 46-0 now, Gateway against Hempfield in a
Boston to attempt the extra point.
result few could have ever imagined, I'm sure.
Kick up and in for Cole Plaskin.
Kick is up and good.
And there's still 4:48 to play in the second quarter, and Gateway's up 47-0 on Hempfield. This is the Hempfield team
Spartans
in the
0.
Trib Live High School Sports Network top 5. A team that is 5-0 coming into today. A team that has put beatings on some of their opponents this year, including the Woodland Hills Wolverines. A team that Gateway struggled with until the fourth quarter. A team that beat their longtime rival, the Penn Trafford Warriors, and snapped a 19-game losing streak to Penn Trafford a week ago. And all of a sudden, Hempfield finds themselves down here 47-0, and I misspoke. I thought that they had beat Woodland Hills earlier in the season. That was Penn Trafford who had beat Woodland Hills earlier in the year. But like you can see, 49-3 over Greensburg-Salem, 49-0 over Connellsville, 49-14 on the road at Latrobe, 48-7 on the road at Shaler. Then they won last week here at home against Penn Trafford.
Well, we have a score similar to those original ones tonight. It's just going the other way against Hempfield. Now, if you're Gateway, you just keep doing what you're doing right now. You don't need to coach anybody.
Katonka on the return. Stopped by Selby.
So Daniel Katonka on the return.
1st and 10
for
Spartans.
The Spartans, takes it out to the 15, where it'll be first down and 10.
I think if Hempfield just try to string some first downs together here at the end of this half, and maybe just something. They just need something to feel good about going into the locker room right now, because there has not been anything right now that has gone well for them in this first half.
Spartans to the ground. And nowhere to go that time.
Littman, the ball carrier, stopped
Kieran
by
Littman.
Sherrod. 2nd and 8.
That's the quarterback change in there for Hempfield right now. Kieran Lippman in at quarterback instead of Zach Phillips, who had been the starter. Don't know if that's just an injury or that Hempfield's down 47 points and just trying to make a change here just to get a spark.
Lippman, option right, pitching right. And tackle made by Baron Fowler. Fowler, who
Caesar, the ball carrier,
we really didn't
stopped
think
by
was going to come
Fowler.
back this season, makes the stop there for the Gateway Gators.
3rd and 4.
Got a heavy brace on that right knee, and he's back in action. Give that kid some credit for returning to the lineup for Gateway.
Been a lot of this on these third downs. Hempfield having to look over to the sideline, and the play calls coming in slow.
Play action, pass tipped, oh, diving, interception, unbelievable. Coming in on the blitz Demetrius Harper. He swats it into the air, dives and catches it, and Gateway's going to have the ball deep inside of Spartans territory again.
That's the second interception.
Intercepted by Demetrius Harper.
For Harper tonight.
First and goal.
This one far more impressive than the first one. Deflects the ball, then is able to dive forward to get it. And he's going to have the ball inside the Hempfield 10-yard line. And I'm out of words, really, at this point, Adam. I'll keep trying to find some new ones, but yeah. Gateway starting on the Hempfield 8. First and goal.
Birch in the shotgun. Jordan motion man from left to right. Birch running right. Toss is complete. Jordan sidesteps the Spartan and then gets hit by two others at the 1 yard line. And it'll be second and goal for Gateway at the 1 yard line.
As if Gateway wasn't doing enough tonight, their backs and receivers have been making just a lot of great open field moves tonight. A lot of shoulder shimmies and dips that have given them some extra yardage there. And they're on the doorstep again for what would be touchdown number 8 if they're able to get it here. And maybe mercifully taking some time off the clock and getting this call in. I don't know, but 2.5 minutes left in the first half, and Gateway up 47.
Play action, toss to the right-hand side, and it is caught for a Gateway touchdown. Inez Jordan into the end zone, and the flag flies as Birch shares words with a Hempfield Spartan player in Brennan Knight. There's a flag on the other side of the field as well.
There are 2 flags on the play.
So we'll see what goes on here. Expecting one's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct. That would be after the play. But that one on the far sideline looks, well, not quite at the line of scrimmage, but that could have been during the play. We'll see what happens.
Well, if that one is during the play and upheld, it is probably a formational penalty.
Formation against the offense. Dead ball. Personal foul, unsportsmanlike, also against the offense.
So that's going to knock Gateway back quite a few yards here. That would be maybe 20 yards worth of penalties there. 5 and 15. Yeah, it does. It takes it back to the 21-yard line where it'll be second and goal from there for Gateway. We'll see if this stops them. Again, if the only time they've been able to show any resistance here tonight, Hempfield, on defense, is when Gateway's committed a penalty.
Birch off of play action, has time, now retreating, now going to toss. The only one that can get there is Harper, and he was just a step shy of getting there.
Well thrown pass, but yeah, just a foot away from Dallas Harper there. But Birch, good pocket presence there to hold on to the ball, to wait for it. That was a slow developing play again. Players coming across the field. It's worked so well for Gateway tonight. A lot of misdirection, a lot of slow developing plays that are taking guys across the field. And Birch holds on to the ball there well. Finally gets it off. Threw it off the back foot a bit, but still almost got it to Dallas Harper. And now third and goal from the 21 for Gateway. And we have a timeout, and Gateway's taking it with 2:09 left in the half.
Gateway.
So Gateway calls a timeout. I'll give the Gators offensive staff an opportunity to talk. Spartans discussing things as well here.
Looking for a stop here. I think if anything, Hempfield can at least say maybe a stop here on this drive. This would be the 8th drive for Gateway. Maybe just getting a stop here. Maybe forcing a field goal attempt or forcing a fourth down. They could stop. Just something to feel good about going into the locker room halftime for Hempfield, because nothing upon nothing has gone right for them, and Gateway has done virtually everything correct here in this first half.
after today's game.
Third and 21. Gateway going to run the reverse and a pass. Jordan tosses. Birch sliding down, catching that football at the 7-yard line. Just remarkable.
Jordan's pass complete to Birch.
So Birch getting, had done enough already in this game, running and throwing. Now he's got a reception, so he's on the score sheet 3 times, getting a 14-yard reception, setting up 4th and goal for Gateway now at the 7-yard line of Hempfield, and they will go for it here. Looking to put a very pretty bow on a perfect first half.
Birch running to the short side right, now tossing it back left, tossing to that far side where the ball will be in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, and a flag comes down near the feet of Birch as well.
We'll see, this may have been some kind of hit on Birch after he let go of the ball. But another good pass by Birch, just Hempfield stepping up there to knock that one away, or to have the Gateway receiver unable to
incomplete, touch on the
catch it.
coverage.
We'll see what the penalty is here coming up, and it is a personal foul, roughing the passer against Hempfield. So how about that? Get the stop there on 4th down. The Gateway's going to get the ball back here, and everything keeps coming up Gators here tonight.
Roughing the passer against the Spartans.
And to add insult to injury, not only does Gateway get one more play, they get a fresh set of downs.
Yep. That's a half the distance to the goal penalty. Should take it down to about the 4-yard line. As if Gateway didn't need any more help, they just got it.
So Gateway dug themselves a hole with penalties, and now Hempfield commits a penalty that gives Gateway another opportunity to score, and that's just what they do there on the 4-yard touchdown run for Jaquan Reynolds.
53-0 now, pending the extra point. I would say it's been perfect for Gateway, but they did miss the two extra points, the first 2.
Yeah, well, one was an attempt at a 2-point conversion, and the other one, the hold, snap, kick, didn't all work out to perfection.
And they've committed 2 penalties, 3 penalties so far, but everything they've done, they've been able to overcome.
Coming up at halftime, hopefully we'll have the Trib Live High School Sports Network halftime show. And my broadcast partner, Matt Bush, will have some halftime stats for you, which will be great considering we won't have the Gateway Band performing at halftime because of a very, very protracted halftime for homecoming here at Spartan Stadium.
Gateway Gators 53, the Hempfield area Spartans
Missed extra
0.
point there by Gateway, so things to work on.
For sure.
But yeah, these stats, they should be eye-opening once we were able to get to them here at halftime. And again, Hempfield, they were celebrating 50 years of homecoming tonight. They brought back, the PA announcer was telling me prior to the game, this is why the bands are playing after the game. They were bringing back 35-plus homecoming queens from the last 50 years here at Hempfield. And here again, this is their best record since in 51 years coming into this game. And huge crowd for them. They had their side of the stadium again. We said at lunch, 30 minutes before the game, their side of the stadium was full, and now we have a flag.
One of our camera operators, he had to park God knows where.
I'm out by the middle school there because I got here a little late before the parade, but the parade was packed. Well, it looks like the flag was a warning
against Hempfield area.
Poor Hempfield.
And
they get a sideline warning.
And the judge over here on the near sideline explaining things to the Hempfield coach. Mike Brown, the head coach of the Hempfield Spartans. This kick will carry to around the 10-yard line, where it'll be returned by Hempfield. Tyson Gregory on the return. He carries it out across the 30 to the 31.
Gans. 1st and 10 Spartans.
Well, we'll see what Hempfield does here. Again, we know they like to run with tempo. A minute 7 with a team that can play tempo is a long time. But they've not been able to string together more than one first down on any drive so far tonight. And their last 2 drives ended in turnovers with 2 interceptions. Kieran, the backup quarterback, still in for Hempfield on this drive.
And Hempfield's going to go to the ground, is shoving his way forward, carrying that football. Is
Rogan
Catcher, sophomore, tackled by Remy Bose.
Gets 8 there. Let's see if Hempfield can pick up the pace here and get something before the half ends.
Spartans go to the ground, and they'll pick up a first down here.
Catcher again, the ball carrier. Stopped by Harris.
So 3 there for the first down for Hempfield. See if they can keep it moving here to get some points by the end of the half.
Catcher, the ball carrier again. A couple of Gators there to make the stop, including Leonard Sherrod.
Catcher, the ball carrier, stopped by
maybe
Morris.
Hempfield here is going to let this
Gain of
go.
5.
They only have 1
Second
timeout
and
left. They had
5.
some issues on defense earlier. We had to take a couple timeouts. Looks like they're not going to get too much else off here. And that's how the first half's going to end. That's about a perfect encapsulation of it.
Yeah, things go awry. Gator defender and Victor Morris is back there, and that will do it for the second quarter. And Gateway takes a 53-0 lead into the locker room. An ugly one for the Hempfield Spartans.
Again, that's what we were expecting here tonight. 2 ranked teams in the Triple I standings here in 5A. Coming into tonight, Hempfield coming off a huge win.
53, the Spartans,
and Gateway
0.
An almost perfect first half. And outside of the extra points, isn't too much Gateway can complain about.
Well, we're going to take a pause here at halftime. Let you listen to the Trib Live High School Sports Network halftime show. When we return, Matt Bush will give you some halftime stats. Again, your halftime score. The Gateway Gators 53, the Hempfield Spartans 0. You're tuned into Gateway High School football here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and the Gateway Productions YouTube page. And we welcome you back to Spartan Stadium in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Adam Gusky, Matt Bush on the call for you. Halftime score, the Gateway Gators 53, the Hempfield Spartans 0. Time to take a quick run through some of the mid-game numbers, Matt Bush.
Well, if you're a Hempfield fan, you might want to send the kids out of the room. Now, we have some stats that are actually the same. They're are similar, where the teams are even. Plays run, Gateway 35 plays run to Hempfield's 29. And time of possession, Gateway 12 minutes and 11 seconds to Hempfield's 11:49. Those are the end of the close statistics here. Gateway 363 yards of offense in the first half to Hempfield's 54. Gateway rushing for 83 yards, passing for 280, 12 first downs in that time too, 0 turnovers. Hempfield 17 rushes for just 39 yards, 4 of 12 passing for 15 yards and 2 interceptions. And those two aforementioned turnovers there, those 2 interceptions. So Gateway outgaining Hempfield 363 to 54 here in the first half, putting up 8 touchdowns to Hempfield's 0. And the superlatives, and we're just sort of out of words of how well that first half went for Gateway and how poorly it went for Hempfield.
And it's just a shock because, quite frankly, Gateway won the games that they won this season, especially last week, by the skin of their teeth.
Yep.
Games that Gateway either had to score some late points to put, like the Woodland Hills Wolverines away, for instance, or last week they had to hold on to defeat the Plum Mustangs. But today, Gateway came out and they were fully prepared to put it to Hempfield, and they've done so through the first 24 minutes of football.
Bradley Birch for the Gators, 18 of 23 in the first half for 266 yards. He also caught a pass for 14 yards, also has a couple of rushes, one of which went for a touchdown, so he's all over the score sheet. Just about everybody on Gateway individually, all over the score sheet right here. As for the second half, Gateway, you just don't want anyone to get hurt here in the second half, and just kind of go through things and run some plays, maybe get some people lower on the depth chart, some repetitions and some plays here, in the second half. And as far as Hempfield, you want something at least good to come out of the night. Maybe get a couple of scores, maybe a couple of stops. They didn't have any of those in the first half. Gateway scored on all 8 of its possessions, the last 2 of which came off of interceptions, which they were inside the 20 on both of those, so short touchdown drives.
Want to apologize to our viewers watching our replay on our YouTube channel. Some network issues here at Hempfield Spartan Stadium prevented us from being able to stream live to YouTube, but thank goodness we were able to get out to the Trib Live High School Sports Network to give you the live coverage this evening of tonight's game between the Gateway Gators and the Hempfield Spartans. And of course, you can watch our archive broadcast on our YouTube page starting as early as tomorrow morning. It'll be there in perpetuity, so you can tune in to an amazing first half for the Gateway Gators. And Cole Plaskin will kick off, and we're back underway here in Greensburg, PA. And this one taking a bounce and will be returned by Tyson Gregory. Check that. That is Daniel Katanka on the return for the Spartans. Steps out of bounds at around the 28-yard line. Will be first and 10 for Hempfield.
We'll see who comes out of quarterback for Hempfield. Zachary Phillips, their regular quarterback. First few drives was in there, but then threw an interception towards the end. Jake Phillips, their starting quarterback, threw an interception there towards the end of the half, and then they brought in their second-string quarterback, Kieran Lippman. He played the last 2 possessions. We'll see who Hempfield goes with here, and it does look like it's Lippman coming on the field. Phillips did come off the field briefly, but and was in the injury tent, but did come back and play after that. So not sure why he's not in there right now, but it's Kieran Lippman, the junior, in at quarterback for Hempfield.
Lippman, he's going to hand off. Nowhere to go for the tailback as he is met at the line of scrimmage by Remy Bose.
Catcher the ball carrier, stopped by
As again, it was Catcher the ball carrier for Hempfield. Gain of a yard, maybe a yard and a half as he crosses the 30. And it's second down and a long 8 or a short 9.
For Hempfield, just none of the tempo that I'm sure they wanted to play with tonight that they were known for coming into the game here. Averaging 44 points a game coming in, and just nothing here so far this evening. Only 3 first downs in the first half.
Lippman running left on the option, cuts it back. He's got the first down before being hit and brought down. Tackled by Kenny Lewis for Gateway. Again, that's enough for a first down for Hempfield. They'll mark the forward progress right around the 44.
Now we're seeing the tempo that Hempfield wanted to play with, getting that first down and a good run by Lippman.
Catcher nowhere to go this time, is knifing through blockers and making the stop. Ahmad Harris a yard deep in the backfield.
Stop by Harris. Loss of 1. Second and 11.
Second and 11 as that ball's pushed back to the 43. Of course, we're in the modified timekeeping system. The clock will continue to run other than after scores or if a timeout is taken or an injury timeout. Let's hope there's none of those. As the handoff, Catcher running left. He's got a crease, he's got room, and he is off to the races. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, end zone, touchdown. Catcher with the big touchdown of 57 yards, and Hempfield is finally on the board.
Well, for Hempfield, they're looking for something like that all night. There's a flag, hold on. It's further downfield, so that could be a holding call downfield. Appears to be it. Gateway is, the defense is there, so that negates it. And that's been that kind of night for the Spartans.
Now, I did see in my peripheral vision a Gator get held, but it certainly didn't have much impact on the play.
Well, enough of an impact there that the official calls the flag. Hey, let's see who it is. It looks like, yeah, it's right up there at the 40-yard line. Can't see who the number is that for Hempfield, but he did have the hold there. So that negates the touchdown, but Hempfield does get the first down.
First down.
So that's about ends up being a 16-yard run for a first down.
Hand off to catcher. He'll run left, and he's got nowhere to go this time. Stacked up by a bunch of white jerseys. Remy Bose amongst others.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
We'll see if Hempfield can weather some adversity here in the early part of the second half and get on the scoreboard.
Clock winding, 9 minutes to play, third quarter. Gateway 53, Hempfield 0. High snap, bobbled, and then pulled in, and then coming in to make the stop in the backfield, Demetrius Harper, as Kieran Lippman had nowhere to go.
Lippman sacked on the play.
No real chance there for Lippman. That pass, or that
Harper.
snap up and to the right, he had to just corral it. But even by then, by the time he had corralled the snap,
Third
Gateway
and
was all over
19.
him for the sack. 9-yard loss, third down.
And Demetrius Harper, who in the first half batted a pass, then intercepted it before it hit the ground. What a remarkably athletic play that was by the 6-foot senior.
It's his second interception of the game. Sack to go with it now.
Toss to the near side, incomplete, intended receiver.
Lippman's
Tyson
pass
Gregory.
Intended for Gregory. Incomplete.
That brings up 4th and 19. The punt unit
Bakari
has to
L
come on
the coverage.
for the Hempfield Spartans.
4th and 19.
Well, Hempfield getting a bit going there, but the penalty negates that touchdown that they had, and now they will punt the ball away to Gateway. Down 53 points, and we'll see what Gateway's going to do here in the second half. After having such a flawless first half on offense, they get their first crack at the ball here.
Chris Livesey to return the punt for Gateway as Hempfield boots it away. Kieran Lippman, the punter. Livesey on the return, the 20, the 25, out towards the 30 before being spun down by Ryan Steffi.
There's a penalty flag down the field.
Why not?
Brought by Declan Plotsky. Flag on the play.
Referee, got to make sure he gets his face time here on Gateway Gators production.
Some sort of illegal block or a hold there on Gateway, so that's going to take the return back from the 30-yard line.
Holding on the return team.
That'll push the ball back just inside of the 20, where it'll be first down and 10 for Gateway.
1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
We'll see who comes out here for Gateway. First team offense was so strong in the first half. Maybe get some of the people lower on the depth chart a couple of plays here in the second half.
Livesey, who has seen time as a receiver this evening, also saw time at quarterback against Franklin Regional, and he is the quarterback right now for the Gateway Gators. He hands off to Amari Gans. Gans, the sophomore,
Gans the ball carrier.
brought down about a half-yard deep in the backfield.
Stopped by Barton.
That'll bring up 2nd and 11 for
No
all
gain
intents
on
and
the
purposes.
play.
So Gateway getting some other folks into the game here, and what's your work on in practice this week after
Second
having that
and
kind of
10.
perfect offensive performance in the first half? Watching films will be fun.
Well, I'm sure one thing that they're going to want to address is the personal fouls the Gateway was guilty of.
It is true.
The chirping, the having something to say after a big scoring play.
Did see that. They came in here tonight looking to do this to Hempfield, and certainly have done that with this big lead.
Up the gut go the Gators. Amari Gans, the ball carrier. And he is
the ball
brought down.
carrier stopped by Benakonski.
Benakonski on the tackle. 6'1", 210-pound senior tight end and linebacker for the Hempfield Spartans.
3rd and 2 now for Gateway as we're down to 6 minutes in the third quarter. Already halfway through. And Gateway up big here and taking their time getting the plays in, not seeing the tempo that we saw a bit in the first half, but even so, the tempo was a little slower for Gateway, but no matter what tempo they were running things at, it was working.
3rd and 2, line to gain the 30. Handoff, Gans. He's got the first down as he's spun down right at that 30-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for
The ball
Gateway.
carrier stopped by Benakonski.
They're going to spot that ball just
Ooh,
a hair
that's
short.
short.
Well,
Yeah,
it
they
certainly
do.
looked like Gans got out straight to the 30, but the officials say no. And it's 4th,
Fourth
a very
and
short
one.
one.
See what Gateway does here, bringing some folks on here, maybe bringing the punt unit on.
I think that is what they are going to do.
Hey, well, if there's anything that needs some work here, it's the punt team. They didn't get a chance in the first half. Gateway scored on all 8 of its possessions, scored touchdowns. So first time we see the punt unit on for Gateway this evening.
Formation for the Gators.
Robert Johnson will punt. And Gateway with a very odd formation, and the Gators are going to have to use the timeout.
Well, a little late getting in there, not knowing. I think Gateway, like we thought that that was a first down. Once found out that it wasn't.
Against the offense.
No, they took the penalty instead.
I thought they had gotten a timeout in. I saw the official on the far side
5-yard penalty.
blowing the whistle, indicating that it was going to be a timeout. You can even see some of the Gateway coaches trying to plead their case that the timeout was taken. But regardless, Gateway will bring on the punt unit, and a lot of reserves on this punt unit for the Gateway Gators. Donovan Biggs is the long snapper, 5'7" junior. Now it's Cole Plasker to punt it away instead of Robert Johnson, the reserve. And Plaskin will get this one away. Takes a bounce or two in favor of Hempfield, and rather in favor of Gateway, and will finally be downed inside of the Hempfield 40 to 39.
It was just one of those, the way it's gone for Hempfield tonight. There were 2 of their players over there near that punt, not looking for it. And you get kind of the feeling, the way that their luck has gone this evening, that ball was going to bounce off one of them, and Gateway was going to recover. It did not. Rolls dead at the 39-yard line of Hempfield, I believe, and that's where they will get the ball here to start this drive with 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
Big leg there on the punt by Cole Plaskin. Plaskin, who has been the starting kicker and punter for Gateway since the departure of Jason Jenkins 2 seasons ago. Jenkins now the starting place kicker for the Robert Morris Colonials. As a sophomore in Moon, does not handle the kickoff duties, but does kick PATs and field goals. As Gateway all over this one. A ton of new, fresh faces out there, and there's nowhere to go for Rogan Catcher. And there's all kind of white jerseys back there making the stop.
These guys getting their chance to shine here right now. Up big for Gateway on defense, and all over that play right there. A 5-yard loss, making it 2nd down and 15 now for Hempfield.
Three minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Clock winding in the modified timekeeping system. High snap. Running with the football, Kieran Lippman, and Lippman takes it out towards midfield. Close to that first down flag. They will say it's enough, just shy of the 50.
Lippman, the ball carrier,
for Spartans' first down.
First down, Spartans.
Clock running now, 2:27 remaining in the third quarter. Hempfield looking to get across the Gateway 50. Did that in the first half after a punt or a kickoff return, but was not able to advance the ball further. As during that first half of complete offensive misery for Hempfield.
Pass complete to Buckholz.
Owen Buckholz on that reception for the Hempfield Spartans, and he is brought down inside of Gators territory and around the 43.
2nd and 4.
Where Jairor Phillips, 5'5" junior, makes the stop for Gateway. 2nd and 4 for Hempfield. Pump and go, the ball comes loose, and they will say an incomplete pass is taking a lick in there was Kieran Lippman.
Lippman's pass is incomplete.
Gateway was just all over that one.
Yeah, all over it. Again, Hempfield's running a lot of plays that look like they need some time to develop to get moving, and Gateway's just not giving them time to do that tonight.
Yeah, Chase Gabriel, who is a reserve on both sides of the line for the Gateway Gators, but is basically the 6th offensive lineman in the rotation on the defensive front, is in there at nose tackle. He blew that play up big time.
And another quarterback new change in for Hempfield now. It's Andrew Jones, a freshman.
Ball came loose, and Jones is going to have to cover it up after the snap went awry.
As Lippman taking that hit on that play beforehand was immediately came off the field. Not being looked at by any of the trainers or anything like that, but I think the Hempfield coaching staff didn't want to
4th and 6.
take any chances there.
Parenthetically, Matt, the roster that you're looking at is an old roster. Tons of jerseys were destroyed apparently over the past couple of weeks. The quarterback right now, Dominic Detroff, the freshman wearing number 19.
Okay. This one over here.
Yeah, that one over there. The paper one they gave us before the game is the pass is tipped by one Spartan and then caught by another as Mitchell Bitar will pull that one in.
And you were so excited we didn't have to use paper.
Yeah, well, for those of you that don't know, we have a computerized system that allows us to reference the rosters without having to look at paper. Well, Hempfield had so many number changes that I've been referencing paper most of the night for one reason. And for reason number two, quite frankly, we've had a ton of network difficulties here at Spartan Stadium. And fortunately, we've been able to at least get you the broadcast here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Bring you the Gators and the Spartans. I'd like to thank my old friend Matt Bush for coming out as he's returned to Pittsburgh, at least for the time being. And he's come out here, done a great job with color commentary, number one, and number two, helped carry the broadcast in the first half as I was trying to solve some of our technical issues up here.
It happens. It happens. It's those things happen, and hey, I mean, the way the first half went for Gateway, and maybe all the bad karma that was going on with the connections and all that here seemed to, that drew on all the bad karma. And then for the football team, it was absolutely no bad karma in the first half that they played. We just blew through the third quarter here with these timing rules because Gateway's up 53. So those who missed the band at halftime, they will be playing afterwards. You're going to see the band pretty soon. You won't have to wait much further.
I want to thank our diligent crew for getting things going here, even with the issues we faced. Of course, our engineer, Lee Schaefer Jr., our director, Lee Schaefer III, our camera operators, Dale Breakall and Brianna Gusky, our replay operator, Allison Gusky, downstairs doing the omen's duty, keeping us on the air and keeping this broadcast going. Clock winding here in quarter number 4 as Hempfield driving. And the Spartans will go to the ground. Catcher, the ball carrier, drives his way towards the 35 before being shoved back by some Gateway Gators. Amongst the tacklers, Raymond Payne.
Raymond Payne.
Payne, 6'4", 350 pounds.
2nd and 8.
It's a big fella.
Stands out in the center of that line, but makes a real nice play there and slowing down the Hempfield running attack.
Toss to the near side left is complete to Bitar. Bitar sidesteps a Gator and will take it into the end zone for a Hempfield Spartans touchdown. No flags down this time, and that one will count for the home team.
Well, the big crowd that came here tonight for Hempfield finally gets to cheer about something. And the touchdown there by Mitchell Bitar gets the Spartans on the board. It's 53-6 with 11:16 remaining in the game.
Josh Riley in to attempt the extra point.
PAT upcoming for Josh Riley. 6 feet, 140-pound kicker, wears number 37 for the Spartans. And the kick is up, and that kick is good. And with 11:16 to play in quarter number 4, Spartans are on the board, trailing Gateway 53-7.
Just under 15 minutes remaining.
Next up for Gateway, a home game and a game against their conference rivals, the Penn Trafford Warriors, on homecoming in Monroeville next Friday night.
Penn Trafford losing to Hempfield last week for the first time since 1997. Penn Trafford gets a chance to come right back at and get back into the Big East race there next week against Gateway. Gateway's homecoming. And the border rivalry of Allegheny and Westmoreland counties right there between those two schools.
Upcoming broadcasts here on Gateway Productions. Next Friday, we've got the Gators and the Warriors in football. And then 3 games in 1 week the second week of October. Girls soccer on Monday night. Spencer Witt will be on the call for that one as the Gators take on the Hampton Talbots. Tuesday night I'll be on the call as the Penn Hills Indians travel to Monroeville to take on the Gateway Gators in girls volleyball. And then it'll be the Gateway Gators at the McKeesport Tigers on October 14th, a road game. And Vince Russo, Spencer Witt will have the broadcast for you for that one. As this kick will carry deep, and Inez Jordan will pick it up at the 15. Jordan trying to push his way out towards the 20, but a couple of blue jerseys are there to make the stop, including Brady Ewing, the junior.
Jordan on return, stopped by 16, Brady Ewing, 1st and 10 Gators.
Let's see how deep into the depth chart the Gators go offensively here. Gateway not a remarkably deep team. Don't have huge numbers like you see from Hempfield here on the near side, or even like you saw from Woodland Hills, who by enrollment category is a AAA team. They had upwards of 80 players. Livesey will be the quarterback with sidecars to either side. They'll hand off. Kenny Lewis running left, trying to cut it back right, and he will drive his way out to the 20 and will be brought down there. Chris Livesey, the senior, return specialist for Gateway. Like I said, Matt, we saw him with some action as a receiver earlier today. Saw significant action in quarterback in the loss the Gators had on the road at Franklin Regional a couple of weeks back.
And another thing, Gateway struggled the last couple of weeks in defending the run. Certainly tonight, until the last drive, though that's here in the second half with some of the guys lower in the depth chart in the game, certainly rectified the run defense this week against Hempfield. Only 39 yards rushing on 17 carries in the first half.
Snap bobbled by Livesey, but he'll still hang on to it. Runs to the near side right across the 40 and shouldered out of bounds at around the 45-yard line, where his number companion, Lucas Moore, number 22, shoulders him to the boundary.
But again, rough snap there by Gateway, but Livesey picks it up. Just gets to the outside. Picks up a pretty substantial gain. See where they mark it, and we'll tell you what it is. Look that ball back 3 yards. 25 yards on that run on a bit of a busted play, but works for Gateway as much has tonight. And they have first down now with 9 minutes left in the game.
And the clock winding due to the modified timekeeping system. Your average Joe would call it the mercy rule. It happens when a team is up by 35 or more in the second half. Beautiful sidestep there by Amari Gans, and Gans is off to the races down the far sideline and will be forced out of bounds inside of Spartans territory at the 32.
Certainly something to be impressed in the Gateway backs and receivers tonight. A lot of moves in the open field. A lot of shoulder shimmies and jukes and all that kind of stuff. And big one right here to get a very big gain for Gateway. That's ripping off another 25 yards on that run for Gateway. Gets into the Hempfield 31-yard line.
Eight minutes to play here in this football game between Gateway and Hempfield. Power pistol, handoff. No, it's Livesey keeping it running left inside of the 30 to around the 25.
Livesey, the ball carrier, stopped by Batar.
Wind starting to pick up outside, and that's not much of a surprise because the remnants of Hurricane Ian are making their way to the Pittsburgh area late tonight and into tomorrow. Certainly going to be a soggy day for football, whether American or the World's game. As I know I'll be covering some soccer at Robert Morris University and the University of Pittsburgh tomorrow. Robert Morris plays on a natural surface, and it's going to be ugly tomorrow afternoon.
I would imagine, yes. And Heinz Field, or Acrisure Stadium, got 2 games this weekend in American football. Pitt tomorrow night, Steelers Sunday.
Pitch to the right-hand side, and
Caught myself there. I said the
nowhere
wrong
to
name.
go to Ian Woods. It's Acrisure Stadium, the home of the Pitt Panthers and Pittsburgh Steelers. And it will be home of the WPIAL championship game in A through 4A. Let's take a look at the temperature, 54 degrees. Beautiful night here.
Yeah, we had a sunset here earlier that tongue-tied me as I was trying to describe it, and Adam came in and saved me. But yeah, the sunset, right as kickoff came, the sun popped out over the hills here behind the far side of the stadium, and it was idyllic. It was the photos that you would send out or put on posters and put on postcards and things like that to describe what high school football is like in Western Pennsylvania.
Magnificently pink. The foothills of the Appalachian Mountains is running to the left-hand side. As Amari Gans a flag down as Gans picks up more than enough for the Gateway first down.
We'll see what that penalty is. Again, another one downfield. Saw that called a couple times tonight, cost Hempfield a touchdown here in the second half, a downfield holding call. We'll see what it is this time. We're down to 6:06 in the game. That's going to bring that run back by Gateway.
Yeah, it looked like Derek Selby was the guilty party with the holding downfield, the 5'8" sophomore wide receiver. Clock will wind now with
3rd and 1.
6:06 to play. Now the official continues to wind his arm, but the clock has not wound yet. There we go. So 10 yards from the spot of the foul ends up being the line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd and 1 yet again. Low snap, scooped up. Running right. Gateway first down and more. Still on his feet. Sidestepping tacklers is Terrence Cole, trying to drive his way and will be brought down at the 5.
And again, more
Cole
moves in the open field tonight by Gateway backs and receivers to get extra yardage and send some Hempfield defenders flying by them. Give that one 16 yards on that run.
1st and goal, Gateway.
The 1st and goal Gateway is the Gators reserves looking to answer after Hempfield got on the board. Nifty running there for Terrence Cole, 5'6" freshman. Low snap, handoff. Cole running left. Trying to turn the corner, but he will be strung out at the 5 and then driven way, way back. Credit the tackle to Ryan Steffi,
Cole, the ball carrier.
the senior.
Stopped by Steffi.
I'll actually say no gain. Did look like the ball carrier Cole did get to the 5 before his forward progress was stopped, but not really of much consequence. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 6 as the clock continues to wind to 4.5 minutes to play here in quarter 4.
Some impressive moves here out of the lower depth chart players from Gateway, and looking to get into the end zone here.
Livesey, the QB, put forth all the strength he could muster and finally will be brought down at the 1-yard line as he slithered through tackles and then drove his way to the 1.
Livesey, the ball carrier.
So we'll have 3rd and goal now for Gateway as they look to punch it in here. We're now under 4 minutes left in the football game. Gateway up big, looking to answer the score Hempfield got here earlier in the 4th quarter.
On the play clock here, so Gateway going to have to speed it up once they get the play they want, and Livesey settles in at QB. Has a sidecar to his left, hands off to said sidecar, and into the end zone goes Amari Gans for the 1-yard Gateway touchdown, and the Gators do answer back on the Spartans, stretching their lead to 59-7, a 52-point lead for Gateway.
And again, nice moves there. Gaines. Little shift there, it goes right into the left, finds some open space for the touchdown. And Gateway gets that touchdown back.
Robert Johnson into attempt the extra point.
So it'll be Johnson to kick the PAT, not Cole Plaskin. Looks like the usual snapper-holder combo, though, as that kick by Johnson is up and in, and Gateway reaches the 60-point plateau.
Johnson's kick is up and good.
3:18 remaining in the game
With
now. Hempfield
3:18
get one more
remaining,
chance
quarter
here
number 4.
on offense,
The
but
Gators 60, Spartans
Gateway going into next
7.
week into a massive game, their homecoming game against Penn Trafford. Hempfield next week is going to host Seneca Valley, who's a 6A class up here at Spartan Stadium, and the two teams have a lot to think about during this week. And I think for Hempfield, you just got to kind of go in and say, like, all right, the game's over. This is nothing we're going to do to change what happened in this particular game. Let's just put it behind us and go right back out there and play. One loss does not, there's one win does not make a season, one loss doesn't make a season either. And I think that's what Hempfield has to focus on after this game. Is for Gateway, a couple of struggles in previous weeks, but not the case tonight. And then also beating a team in front of them in the conference standings. That's big.
Johnson to kick off.
Especially considering Gateway already has a loss in conference coming to Franklin Regional 2 weeks back, as this kick will be returned from the 15. For the Spartans, and that return man gets out towards the 28 before being driven back.
Gregory on the return.
Bunch of white jerseys there.
Biggs. 1st and 10 Spartans.
Lots of reserves in there now in that huddle for the Hempfield Spartans as well. Moments ago we saw the sparse crowd on the far side. It was a nice crowd for the Gateway faithful as they traveled well from Monroeville to Greensburg for today's game. But with the game well in hand, you've got to assume a lot of those parents made their way home. Of course, a lot of those students are still there in their fluorescent garb and around the 30 next to the Gateway band. Ball carrier out towards the 30-yard line. Got to assume those kids are pumped up for next week. Homecoming against the rival Penn Trafford Warriors.
2nd and 9.
Two teams that also be ranked going into tonight. They're both ranked in 5A. See how that holds up. Penn Trafford's game tonight.
Penn Trafford, the WPIAL title holder from last year's. Spartans go to the ground, nowhere to go. Earlier we saw that Penn Trafford is number 5 in those Trib High School Sports Network 5A rankings. Upper St. Clair number 1, Bethel Park is number 2, Hempfield 3, Gateway 4, and Penn Trafford 5. So no action from those teams up north in that 5A rankings. 2 teams in the South Hills, 3 teams in the East.
Rizzuto, once again the ball carrier stopped by Elijah.
They've got to wonder, will Hempfield be in the rankings after the kind of drubbing they took tonight? Granted, it's their first loss of the year, but
still, yeah, you lose this bad at home. It's tough. But for them, it's to prove they should get back in the rankings by winning the games they have remaining on their schedule, beginning with Seneca Valley next week.
Team in 6A, Seneca Valley, the second highest enrollment in the WPIAL. This ball up in the air. Punt will be down by the Spartans. It'll be 1st and 10 for Gateway at around the 43.
54 seconds remaining in this one. Gateway can run maybe 1, maybe 2 plays, and that'll be the end.
Take a look at the Allegheny 6. We talked about those teams down in the South Hills. Upper St. Clair and Bethel Park yet to play each other. Peters Township's 1-1. Moon has yet to play a game in conference. South Fayette's 0-1, and the Baldwin Highlanders are moved down from 6 to 5A. In the Northeast Conference, teams that not ranked right now. Woodland Hills 1-0, and then every other team with at least 1 loss, except for Shaler, who's yet to play a game in conference play. Victory formation, a knee is taken, and that will do it for today's football game as the Gateway Gators defeat the Hempfield Spartans 60-7. And with the victory, Gateway improves their record to 5-1, and Hempfield falls to 5-1.
Certainly, a result maybe not surprising that Gateway would win, but certainly not to the extent that they win this game 60-7, up 53-0 at halftime, scoring on all 8 of their offensive possessions in the first half. Hempfield not getting more than a first down on any of their eight possessions in the first half.
Spartans.
And that's it.
Thank you.
That's pretty much the story of the game tonight in Hempfield.
Well, a big game for Gateway next week as they will take on the Penn Trafford Warriors on homecoming. The nearby rivals, two teams that have done battle so many times in conference play in recent years. And it ought to be a good one. And I don't like to push people away from watching our broadcast, but I certainly encourage you to make your way to Pete Annamarino Stadium next Friday night to see the Gators take on the Penn Trafford Warriors. It'll be a good one.
It absolutely will. So come on out to Monroeville.
That is for sure. Meanwhile, Hempfield, they'll be on the road taking on Seneca Valley in a non-conference game, an interclassification matchup. Well, that'll do it for our coverage this evening. Matt, I want to thank you. It's been a ball to be back on the air with you for the first time in a very long time.
Pleasure to be here, Adam. Thank you.
Want to thank our crew yet again for all of their assistance in getting us on the air and getting things working this evening after a rough go of it for a while. One more time, your final score. Gateway 60, Hempfield 7. And you have seen it all here on the Gateway Productions YouTube page and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.